Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello, welcome to Mercy TV Live, your medical cannabis call-in show. Here you can find all out about the issue as it unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and indeed around the world. Greetings. My name is Perry, and along with Sonny, we'll be hosting this segment of MTV. We've got some exciting news for the folks out there tonight.
Well, you know, the thing is this. If you haven't seen the show, know that there's a lot of people in our community that is suffering from a lot of conditions that all concern pain medications and lots of other side effect medications for the condition of the pills that they're taking for their condition. This alternative medicine cannabis that we're talking about tonight is exactly what all those people in the hospital that are watching. Hello to all those people in the hospital. We see so many people coming by and saying hi. You know, it's important for those people to know that there is hope. Don't worry, you know, a lot of people have never heard that cannabis would help their pain. Nobody understood about rubbing it on or helping them in other ways. And these are the things that this show, and come by the office, go on the website, I mean, all of these things can be done if you need the help. Because nobody understands what it's like not being able to sleep, not being able to eat, not being able to stop the seizures and the suffering from the spasms and the, you guys, it just goes on and on, you know, Perry, and this is a chance for them to do that.
Well, folks should be aware, made aware if they're not already, that many conditions treated by cannabis, medical cannabis, are not qualifying conditions with the medical marijuana program here in Oregon. Many of the symptoms, more times the symptoms are qualifying as opposed to the conditions themselves. So folks suffer from fibromyalgia, but the fibromyalgia itself is not on the list. It's the pain from fibromyalgia. So with Parkinson's, which causes spasticity, the shaking there. And then it goes on down the list. There's folks that have IBS, but only when they are able to get the nausea diagnosed, to get the nausea put on the chart notes, that they can then take those chart notes and get a specialist assigned for them, or get their doc to sign, okay, yeah, this doc is the qualifying condition. And this is particularly true with folks that suffer from a number of conditions, psychiatric-based conditions, anxiety, anorexia, bipolar conditions. But one group is particularly affected by post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Folks have certainly heard about it. In most cases you hear about it due to veterans, combat particularly experience, but veterans in all walks of service there. Also police, firefighters, victims of family abuse, accident victims, folks who have to care for them, emergency workers, social workers, often dealing with folks who are counseling them, suffering through these conditions. And right now, PTSD itself is not a qualifying condition. It's not on the list. Folks who take it for their, take cannabis, medical cannabis, for their PTSD, who currently use it, qualify by another basis. Either they have pain associated with an injury that's related to the PTSD, or they have nausea from pills they're taking for the PTSD. Both of these cases are qualifying situations for folks. But that just doesn't do. You know, there's a lot that, a number of cases we know that we've encountered here at Mercy for...
Pardon me, Perry?
Yes,
we
sir.
have a phone call?
Oh, okay. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, I was calling about the legislation on dispensaries.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that. We were letting folks know that Senate Bill 281 to add PTSD is through the Senate committees, and it's on to the Senate for a floor vote. And after that, it will go to House committees and then to the House floor for a vote. So you can call your legislator certainly on that. But there's also 2 bills involving dispensing in Oregon. There's 3460 and there's House Bill 2919, both of which had hearings last week, and expect to have more hearings later on. You can see the video of the hearings by going to our website and clicking on the Mercy-TV link.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have some bills in play. They received testimony at their last hearing. I would say it was probably 3 or 4 to 1 as far as the number of folks testifying for it as folks testifying against it. So
those are pretty good numbers.
We just have to keep educating the people on the committees, and of course you need to contact your legislators both in Senate and House, so when it comes before them they'll know what the score is. Right now we've seen pretty much what the prohibitionists have to offer as far as talking points and evidence and testimony, and it really involves the same old reefer madness. So it's good news, bad news. You know.
Right. Well, and now there's plenty of evidence that it's not reefer madness, that the medicine actually does help, and good things are coming about it.
Exactly. So, you know, hopefully folks like yourself can get a hold of it and get it to your legislators, or just tell them, you know, hey, if necessary, I'll get it for you. But most of them's like, no mas. I'll take your word for it, please. You know, one of the things at the hearing, one of the folks that testified said, I was going to bring all of my, you know, I have 50 patients. I was going to bring them all here to tell you, you know, case by case, how cannabis is medicine. It's safe, effective medicine, and we should have access to it. They're good people. They've worked their lives. They're not criminals and all this. And the representative who was chairing the committee said, "Oh, well, thank you very much for not bringing that people here. We're already flooded as it is at the hearings." Yeah.
That would have been good, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, all righty. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for calling.
All right. Have a good night.
Right. So that's just one example of, you know, how Joe and Jane Citizen can contact our legislators and just tell them, hey, yes on all cannabis law reform that's before you.
Well, the main thing is this. See, everybody is going, well, I really don't want to get and mess around with the marijuana thing. It's illegal, the federal government. We all know this, you guys. We've all been through it. We all hear about it. We all talk about it. Everybody grew up with it. The thing is this. Have you talked to your doctor? Do you need medical marijuana? Is it a choice that you can make and get out of all of the pills and the crap? Are you taking more than 10 pills a day, more than once or twice, 3 times a day? And are you taking, you know, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 pills a day? All of those that I know about that people are, it's too many. You can cut out most of the time half your pills, because half of them are side effect pills. Once you start and are able to have some cannabis and use it and be able to eat it and rub it on and even smoke it or vaporize it, which is not smoking. Remember, using cannabis does not mean that you have to smoke it. Those are the worst myths that everybody's come in and told us, that you have to smoke it. You don't have to. And the results are amazing, and everybody needs to know about it, because if it's your family, it's your brother, your mother, your father, your sister, your children that are suffering, and you can rub some oil on their body to help them, or give them a cookie so they can sleep. You guys, who would not trade a cookie or a rub of some oil for handfuls of pills every day? Everybody that comes in tells us the results are phenomenal. So if you haven't talked to your doctor, that's the first thing they have to do, Perry, is talk to their doctor, because we want our doctors to know, hey, this is really working. I'm not having to take all those pills. The people that keep taking the pills end up taking more pills for the side effects of those pills, because then they get more side effects from those pills, and pretty soon you're 3 side effects out and 3 sets of different pills, and everybody's going, what's wrong with you? You don't even know what to tell them, because you got so much going on but it's not the condition, you know? And a lot of people in the hospital that are watching this show know exactly what I'm talking about. And God bless you, man, because I know that you people are suffering the most, and nobody understands that. We do. Talk to your doctor. Ask them about cannabis. Tell them you don't want to smoke it. Tell them you want to rub it on your body. Wherever you're hurting, you want to stop the hurting and allow yourself to be able to move, because everybody that has those locked up joints and muscle spots in their arms and legs and neck and back and everything, you guys, can literally, you can rub this oil on it and watch yourself be able to move it. I mean, I've seen everybody from the worst people of Parkinson's to all the people with the worst arthritis, every kind, rheumatoid and all of it else. So these are the things, you guys, that we need to share with others. And like we do for you, come by the office Monday through Friday. We're open. Everybody there is a volunteer. You know, it's a nonprofit. We're just trying to help others get to the knowledge that they can have some peace, and not have to suffer the conditions that they're living.
Well, an important thing, of course, all these things that Sonny's telling you are important, but we really, when it comes to educating those docs, and we do want to get you to talk to your doc, get him to sign. You don't want to have to go through that extra expense of getting the specialist to sign for you, but educate your doc, particularly on these alternative medicating methods. An important thing to note about making the rubbing it in, applying it by that oil methodology, is that the limited toxicity that's applied. You don't, in other words, you don't cop a buzz, you don't get high. So these docs that are talking about, oh, I'm concerned about prescribing smoke medication. Well, you don't prescribe in the Oregon system, and there's the alternative method to smoking. And this particular alternative method, the oils that Sonny was talking about, applied topically, applied on the affected area, it's like none, there's Zippo. So really, talk to your doc. We found out that those are the major hang-ups with the getting the doc to sign, and just those 2 points, you know. And if there's something more, something else, talk with us. You know, talked about another thing that we hear from the medical community is being able to note the titration, the dosage, you know, how much, how often. And with the different modalities, particularly with an oil, you know, how much oil you rub on, how often, so forth.
Well, and that's
not easy to document, but
what you're saying is good information, you guys, that you tell the doctor, hey, you know what, I get up in the morning, I take me a couple puffs, I eat a cookie, I rub a little oil on. Whatever that particular thing you do in the morning, tell them that. And then by the afternoon, I feel, so I take another puff, I eat the other half of the cookie, I do a little more oil, whatever. If you run in with a thing that shows you've done this over a period of time, like a week to 10 days, because all of the doctors knows it takes 7 to 10 days for this blood level to get working for you, and for you to tell the doctor, yes, after I've had 7 to 10 days of this, and I can tell you how I felt and what was going on with me, and the pills that I didn't have to take because, doc, I wasn't feeling nauseous. I was able to eat. Oh, I was able to get some sleep. I was able to do some things. I was able to move because my body allowed me to move because of the pain wasn't there, and I didn't have to take all those pills that I was taking for the pain, and I didn't have to take all the side effect pills. So all of those pills that you end up taking are cut out. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to say I'm a doctor, never have, don't even play one on TV. I'm just saying, you guys, if we can do that and share that with each other, and those people in the hospital can share that with somebody beside you that you know is hurting, that don't hear this message, please tell them, you guys, we are all we got. We have to share it with each other because this is the best medicine. That's why they've kept it illegal. That's why they've done all this to us for all these years, because it really is good. And all I want to say is, man, you need to look into it. You need to try it. Once you understand what the benefits are from cannabis, you'll want to go out and tell everybody you can, because it's ridiculous. It's how safe it is and what the percentage that everybody gets helped. Everybody gets helped, you know? I mean, nobody comes back and says, well, I didn't get no benefit. We've never had that.
Sometimes, a particular batch. Although 9 times out of 10, when you press them for it to say, well, what about this? What about that? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Well, isn't that different? I mean, usually isn't it the pain is so sharp and is always so there and always so nagging there, and it's you know, it's the absence of it that kind of sets people free and makes it so people can go out and have a life. And this is what we refer to when we talk about it, giving folks a quality of life. So, you know, easing the debilitations that folks suffer through, the spasticity is so intense that you can't go out and have a day, the fear, worries over seizures, the nausea that just has you literally bent up double so that you can't literally stand up. You can't move about your life here without needing something to toss up into. So, you know, this is what cannabis means to folks. And so that's why we're about helping folks to get their card, to finding medicine now in the short term, helping folks to find a grower in the long term or to get growing themselves. And best methods on medicating, like we talked about in the oil and the canna butters that we are making, changes. Whether you need to make a change from, you need to find a new grower, it's not working out for you, and trying to help folks, you know, initially when they do that matchup to avoid having to change the grower because it's expensive. But changes to the program as well, whether it's the adding PTSD, a condition there, or getting something like the fee hike changed and fixed. You know, we're very much educating folks on how to do these things.
Well, and everybody seems to be worried about medicine and where they're going to get it and how they're going to get it.
That was big this week.
And how much it is and how much it's going to cost.
I needed some medicine, and I'm on fixed income. I just don't have any funding, usually because the situation they tried before sucked it all out of them and gave them nothing in return. But that's what some of the situations are. They just want to take your funding, and they want you to come back for more.
Right.
You know, whereas that's something to point out, and something that somebody pointed out to us, and yeah, well, it's kind of what we've always preached is, you know, we teach people to fish as opposed to handing them a fish. You know, it's really this thing that we need to work together on this fishing thing, as opposed to trying monopolizing it and stuff like that. So that's certainly how we got here. All this information we have, someone shared with us. You know, they didn't hold it up, make us, you know, promise or anything to do this or that. It was freely given. And so how could we not do the same, really?
Well, and the benefit, you guys, the main thing is people watching this show tonight are really only concerned with, are these people really getting high? Are these people really sick and really getting some benefit out of this medicine? Believe me, it's the latter. You guys, this is so beneficial, and it's just not me, and it's just not anybody watching the show in the hospital, because whatever it is, you have to try it, and you have to try it either by the smoking, the vaporizing, and for you, if you don't know what vaporizing is, it's hot air. It's like a steam treatment when you're in the hospital and they give you those breathing steam treatments. That's what it is. It's hot air, literally hot air with medicine and the hot air being pushed through it that allows vapors to escape that you breathe. There is no burning. None of the stuff that's bad about smoking is in it. And everybody says what big benefits they get from it because they've never had anything like that or experienced it like that before. Eating it is a different thing because it's a lot stronger depending on the plants you use, depending on the condition you have, because you know what? Everybody's condition has different things with their body. It's back to doctor giving you pills, trying saying, well, this one worked for so many people, but you got to try it 7 to 10 days to see how it's going to work for you. I had this guy come in this week and tell me, oh, well, it didn't work. I asked him how many times he tried it. He said once. Well, that don't work, you guys. You know, first of all, you got to have enough of the cookies, the oil, the medicine, whatever you've got to have enough to last you a week, 10 days, whatever, and try it and use it for that week to 10 days and see what changes. in your sleeping, in your pain, in your nausea, in your eating habits, all of that. Because those are the things, along with all the moods and your mind and all the crap that all those drugs do to you, it allows you to have a freedom that you haven't had for a long time and know that you're on the right track because you can feel it. Everybody that I've ever talked to that's been all messed up on all these pain pills and stuff told me, dude, I knew that this was going to happen, and the cannabis is why it happened. Here we are. You know, the people go, man, what else can it do? Well, you have to use it for the reasons that you're sick. Why are you sick? What's going on? Are you having issues with some of your pills or some of your treatments? Cancer people are the best. They'll tell you that nothing works better than cannabis.
Well, for all the things that they're going through, pain, nausea, cachexia, which is wasting away, the inability to eat, you're just not hungry, and aside from the ability to digest it or keep it down so it can do its work, the anxiety that goes with it, the spasticity that may sometimes occur, and it is also good for folks with glaucoma, although that's not usually something that cancer folks also experience. Of course, the folks with AIDS and HIV, but there we're talking again about the wasting away aspect of it. But it's turned out to be a miracle plant. It's had tremendous results and fantastically high percentage of time, and has been safe. No one's died from it. It's certainly much more safe and effective than the current pharmacopoeia, but it's not meant to replace. You know, there's some things that it doesn't get rid of, you know, like seizures. It doesn't, you know, make it, it doesn't cure seizures. Folks that are, you know, have seizures taking medications for it are advised to not go off their medications, particularly without their doctors, without consulting their doctor, just because they're feeling better from taking cannabis for their seizures.
And it's funny you bring that up because that's the biggest thing that we've heard for a long, long time about seizures and cannabis, that it either cured their seizures, it makes them feel so good they don't want to take their pills no more because they're afraid of the side effects from the pills. And it's all true, and I understand all of it, but the thing is this: the cannabis just relieves the neurological parts, and the seizures are neurological, so you got to allow the seizure pills that they're giving you, Perry, because those people don't realize there's a whole system to how our body works and our brain works, and the cannabis and the cannabinoids are being delivered to the brain just like those seizure pills, and the seizure pills need to be there so the cannabinoids can be absorbed into our electrical system because there's a problem. And that's what, you know, I tried to explain to a couple people. They didn't want to hear it. I'm just trying to explain it.
Right.
Because you know what?
They have, these folks, they go for years, they don't have a seizure. They run out of their cannabis medicine. Bam, they have a seizure. You know, it just makes sense to them that that's the deal then. No cannabis, seizures. But it's a good news thing all the way around, really. I know that folks would like to have them go completely away, not to ever have to worry about them again with the cannabis. But on the other side of the coin, some folks, some doctors especially, have claimed that cannabis causes seizures.
Right.
But we could say, no, that's not the case. I mean, good news, bad news.
I
It
haven't
doesn't
seen
fix
it.
them, but it doesn't cause them either. So
I haven't seen it, and the main thing is this, is that we have a lot of conditions going in on our society right now. People are in the hospital from everything you can imagine to things people haven't heard about. They're all trying drugs that nobody's heard about. They're on experimental drugs that nobody has ever heard of, and they had to sign a paper because nobody will hear about it because it's experimental. And you know what? This is all I'm saying. It's all that Perry's saying. All the volunteers here at the CCTV. You guys, we're trying to tell you there is an alternative medicine. It's called cannabis. Everybody's been so nasty with it and turned it into some big monster.
It's crazy how this situation has evolved or devolved, we should say, because we can't allow cannabis because it might do this or that. But the things that actually do those things, the things that cause cancer, if you just have it, if you just say that it has a problem real fast at the end of the commercial, you're off the hook. Or if you put it in fine print at the bottom of the ad, that's it, you know. There was something that was so deadly that you couldn't leave open bottles around pregnant women, you know. It was like radioactive and stuff, you know. Where was all these people are concerned about dangerous things when that was coming through? Not a problem. So these folks that say marijuana might cause cancer, it might kill folks, cause brain damage or that. In the first place, it doesn't. But even if it did, they don't really care because there's plenty of things out there now doing it. And heck, they do commercials for that stuff in some cases. So it's insane how this situation came about, but it's even more insane if we let it go on. So folks really should clue in to the legislative hearings, look at these bills that are happening, get involved and see how you can help them along. But be prepared for registering and voting in 2014 on based on how these people voted this session with these bills, because it's a real clear indicator that the same reefer madness logic, stories and stuff that was used to start this thing are being used to keep it going along. It's, you know, at the same time we need to combat it, educate the folks we can. We need to plan to remove from power, de-elect and otherwise disempower those who still cling to this flat earth mentality, because we don't want folks with this kind of thinking with their hands on the helm of the ship of state, for sure.
Well, and those are the things, you guys, that everybody needs to know about, they need to talk about. Don't wait till you're sick. Everybody out there knows somebody that has cancer or some kind of bad condition like that. And you know what? Cannabis would benefit them so much. And you know what? They're probably already using cannabis and you don't even know them. Try the conversation. Say something. Everybody's so worried. Believe me, there's so many people out there that are so worried. They wish you would have that conversation with them so they could open up to you and tell you about it. That's so important, you guys. If you know somebody that's like that, please talk to them. Get some good information from somebody that you know that's already using this stuff. And you know what? Open your world up, because your parents, your family, your sisters, your brothers, your kids, Perry, everybody, you know, this is what we need to do. You guys, thanks, Perry. You know, I know that we have so many things to talk about and we never have enough time. Always, it's a short time.
Well, there's always next Friday, so folks can tune in then to Channel 23 here, 7 o'clock Friday. And don't forget to bring someone with you. Bring something to write on, something to write with. You can go through all these things again and more. But most importantly, spread the word. Tell somebody, everybody you know, and then everybody you don't know yet.
All right. Well, thank you, Perry. Thanks to all the volunteers at CCTV.
And don't forget, come on down to the Mercy Center, Monday through Friday, noon to 6. Also, Wednesdays at 7 p.m., our Mercy Weekly meeting. And folks can always visit us on the web at www.mercycenters.org. Thanks to all the CCTV crew, and especially the CCTV helping us out much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sonny. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Perry. And thank you, and tell all your friends.
Right on.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.